Oh, sure.
Like recreate it or like create more of it, you know?
Okay, so literally that, for example, that exact video. Okay, that is a little bit different because I don't think it's not really tactical, but it's explaining the concept, right?
Yeah.
So it's declarative knowledge, not procedural knowledge. So declarative knowledge, that kind of stuff, I think it doesn't really follow this rule that I'm talking about, the tactical one. It's more about the topic itself. So okay, let's talk about tactics. How do we milk this, right? So we've already identified that this was a good content unit. Now, it was what was the format? A format is a component of a video. So let's see the format. The format was a podcast, right? What was the idea? The idea is also a component of the video. The idea was the philosophy, right? The philosophy stuff, your statement and all that, right? There's the hook. That's another component of a video. There's all these different things. So let's keep everything else constant. So the idea, the hook, everything constant, but the only thing we change now is the format. Because now you're not doing it in a podcast, you're doing it, let's say it's as talking head. So we can do two formats. One is a talking head where you're literally standing and talking to the camera, and we show some visuals that accompany what you're saying. Number two is you could just do a walk and talk. Literally, like, as you're walking right now, you can talk about it. Yep.
Would it be like the same exact script, like literally word for word I said? Like that's what I'm trying to
Okay, so you want to keep it as similar as possible, because the script is also obviously another component of the video, right? So of course that one you want to keep it as similar as possible, but of course now it's not like a conversation, so it will be a little bit different. Now it's more of an explanation to the person behind the camera, but that's fine as well. That's totally fine. It's just that what you do is you put your bullet points, you follow the bullet point structure of the previous one, and then you add.
Okay.
Yep, and then we use the same text hook. We use the same, the same sort of stuff, but then you keep the same sort of flow. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's helpful. Okay, so for that one, I feel like that one's such a banger. Like it brought in a lot of traffic.
It did,
I feel
yeah.
like we should just make tons of those.
I think true.
Yep. Okay. So of course the reason why we go for volume is so that we can get more of these, right? And then once we get more of these, we double down on these. So yeah, after you do these two, for example, you change the format on these two, then we do another one. But this time we keep the format, we change the hook, for example. So let's say, because the only thing is that this was a podcast format. So the only thing is like to recreate the podcast format, maybe it's a little bit more tough. So let's say we do the two formats. We do like one where it's a talking head, you talk directly to camera, it's above your head we show some visuals. That's one format, right? The split screen, top and bottom format. We could do a green screen format, you show something behind your screen, right? Or we can do the walking and talking, the yap style, right? And then we keep everything else constant. Out of those three, we see which ones popped off. If, for example, the yap style popped off, okay, now let's do yap style, let's keep the same idea, but now let's change the script format, for example, or the script structure. So, if it was purely an explanation, now maybe we give something tactical with the explanation. So now we start to change it up and we start to remix it.
Okay.
Yep. It's like, for example, the best way that I can put this is like for all of my content, I'm usually saying the same shit. Like, for example, I've got like 10, 20 videos about hooks. It's just that each one is slightly different, right? Or different format. One of them is a yap. One of them is like super highly produced, right? So one of them is like I'm just talking but low production with just like simple captions. Another one's like a bit of a like freestyle rant. So there's another one could be a green screen, right? So there's all these different formats, but it's the same idea. And then I'm keeping the same idea, but I'm changing the hook. And I'm changing the format. So I'm changing these two things, but I'm keeping everything else the same. Like for some of them, I use the same explanations even, or the same like tactic, or this So yeah, so that's how you milk it. That's like that's literally how you milk it. It's just keep as many constant, but you just change one or two things.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's really helpful.
Yep. A really good example of this is like your Jensen Huang. That is, for example, you use the same format as other people, which is the green screen format, right? Very tried and proven format. The script structure is also the script structure also mimics everyone else in the sense where it's like news reporter style. The only thing that was different was that the headline. So the idea was different, for example. So that is you keeping everything constant, but changing the idea. Yeah.
Okay, that's helpful.
Yep. So,
okay, cool.
Yeah. So you're already doing it. You just need to do.
Cool.
You just need to do more.
Yeah.
and
do more
yeah.
of it. Yeah. So when you're planning this kind of thing to milk the shit out of something, how do you go through your pre-production process?
Yep, that's a good idea. Good question. Okay, so how I go through my pre-production process?
For milking shit.
Yeah, for milking shit. So, okay, let's talk about Okay, explain to me this. Let's use you an example. Explain to me in like a one simple sentence. What was the idea of that video?
The idea was what true intelligence to me means.
Okay, what does true intelligence mean? Okay, so what does true intelligence mean? Okay, so here's the first way we can we can do things. Okay, let's just pretend like it was not a podcast format. Okay, let's just pretend it was a talking head format. Okay, so firstly, your opening for this one. Let's listen to the opening.
I think true intelligence or intentional intelligence is being able to hold two very conflicting ideas in your head, accept them, and then move forward.
Okay, so your starting for this was, I think true intelligence or intentional intelligence is being able to hold two very conflicting ideas. So that was your hook, that was your opening, right? So one way to do this is you keep the explanation the same, and then afterwards you go on to elaborate that, right? One way to do this is literally you change the hook. So you start off with true intelligence, but you give something else. Most people don't know what true intelligence is.
Yeah, or I could drop the I think.
Yeah, exactly. You can drop the I think. Firstly that you can drop the I think because you can use I believe instead. That's usually a nicer, a more authoritative angle, right? Just on a tactical note. But yeah, that's one. You know, just starting off with true intelligence is. So that's a statement. Another one you can do is most people believe true intelligence is X, but actually what I believe is that it's Y, or the science shows is Y.